Hey guys, it's Loren LoRosa back again here from the media room, the radio room, media room, whatever you remember it as or call it. The 2025 BET Awards are going down, and we are talking to some of the hottest names in entertainment and culture. But when you talk about hot, you talk about entertainment and culture, you got to talk about Miss Kandi Burruss.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. You know, I know you was about to end it, so I'm glad you slid me in right quick.
No, well, we're doing we've been doing these interviews all day, and we're going to be doing them all day. But they're like, hey, do you got a second for Kandi? I was like, do I have a what? I got more than a second. Like, for sure.
Well, thank you.
I've been watching you on screen, you know, Housewives, and then of course grew up on your music and all those things. This year, they are celebrating 25 years of 106 & Park and BET Awards.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what is it like when you see things like a 106 & Park being celebrated and being a part of their moments early on?
You know, it's so crazy because, you know, when I first came in the game, like, our group came out in 93.
Right.
So I seen it when it first started,
right.
You know what I mean? And so to see, like, how people used to go crazy.
Yes.
Just, you know, every time it came on, you had to be by your TV or, you know, the audience, you know, when they started having like the little live audience situation,
yes.
Everybody wanted to be a part. If we had to do an interview or something on there, everybody's like, I want to go. You know, so it's really cool to see them bringing it back this year.
I love it. I definitely love to see it. I think one of the biggest moments, you know, for me as a person watching 106 & Park is just always remembering the video countdowns and being able to see and hear things there for the first time. To your point, I was one of them kids having to sit down and watch it on TV.
Oh yeah, and as an artist, you know, that was something that you kind of like aimed for.
Yes.
You wanted your video to be featured on there.
Yes.
You know.
What was that like for you guys? Though, like when a video, talk about the impact, right? Because you say people don't understand having to get people to sit down at a TV anymore, right? Mm-hmm. When you would get a video on 106 & Park. What followed that? What was the impact or the influence of 106 & Park?
Well, obviously, it helped you build your audience. It helped you build, you know, sell records.
Yes.
You know, at that time, there was no internet. There was no blogs, you know.
Yes.
So it's like we really had to rely on, you know, BET and 106 & Park, all those, you know, formats in order to be able to push out music. And obviously, they can't, you know, have that many, you know, artists, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you can be just one of the select few to make it, that really made a major impact. It really, you know, made a difference in your record sales.
Yes, I bet. Man, wow. I can't even imagine having to get, because millions and millions of people to sit down and watch television is like such a thing. Like I can't even imagine what that's like. But we are here now, and there is so much that you've been able to build from that time, right? With restaurants and a TV career, not even just Housewives, but as talent as an actress and on Broadway and all of these things. Let's talk Othello.
Let me say thank you to every single person that bought a ticket and helped us break records. Okay,
yes.
Tomorrow is our last show on Broadway, so we finish our run tomorrow, and it's so crazy because everybody's like, "Oh my God, you know, y'all got to bring it back."
Yeah.
But we knew when we started it that it was going to be a limited run.
Yes.
And I'm just thankful to be a part of it. Okay, to be able to say, you know, I was a producer on a show that starred Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal is like amazing.
And it's Broadway. That's like, for a lot of people are probably wondering, like, how did you even get into that conversation? Because people may think it's out of your wheelhouse, but that is such an epic thing for a person who's been on screen performing, right? Like,
yeah. So my career has, you know, led up to this point.
Yes.
So it didn't start with me doing the piano lesson. Excuse me, not the piano lesson, but with Othello.
Yes.
My first one was Thoughts of a Colored Man, and that was when Broadway was like first coming back open after the pandemic.
Yes.
And I mean, well, it was during the pandemic still.
Yes.
So that was the first one, and then we did the piano lesson, and we really started setting records and setting, you know, showing that shows that was starred black actors, directed by a black female director, had a black producing team, that we could still sell tickets and really, because at that time piano lesson was really selling crazy amount of tickets as well.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the problem prior to. People were scared to invest in shows that starred all black talent, even with celebrity talent.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like as we continue to grow and the culture coming out and supporting the stuff that we're doing. Same with The Wiz. It's like, unfortunately, because we got snubbed with Othello at the Tonys, and I was sad about it. You know what I mean? But it's like, but we broke records. Well, I think the highest grossing in history,
yes.
And it's just like, okay, we may not have got that award, but what we did do,
yes,
we showed what we could do as a team. And to make more people feel good about investing in our shows, because we didn't get a lot of our shows up and running on Broadway. It takes a lot of money to put a show up, so you have to get a lot of investors. And that was a lot of the problem before. People were scared to invest in black theater.
There was a large conversation when Denzel Washington and a bunch of people didn't get nominated for the Emmy. There was for the Tony. There was a lot of conversation about the ticket prices and people saying, "Oh, well, the ticket prices were too high," but at the same time,
it had nothing to do with the ticket prices, because at the same time, it's like we were selling out all our shows.
That's what I was about to say.
So it's not about ticket prices, and I kind of felt like it's similar to with the Grammys, right? It's a voting board.
Got you.
So same how we be mad sometimes when we see the Grammys and we be like, "How did that get picked over this show?" It's like we have to change the face of the people who are voting as well.
Okay.
It's a lot of politics in Broadway. People don't understand. You have to, we got to get more of us involved in that side of things as well.
Right.
In order to make sure that, we are respected in that way.
Now, when you talk about... So moving from Broadway, because there's so much, we only got but so much time with you, but there's so much I want to get to. But moving from Broadway, right? Another big part of your life for so long was Real Housewives of Atlanta. You decided to take a step
I did 14 seasons straight.
I know, looking at this season, you happy you stepped away?
Yes. I am so happy that I stepped away. And it's not because of any hate on the girls or whatever. Much like, I'm very still close friends with Shamia. And I'm still cool with some of the other girls as well. But it's just, the simple fact is, it's like, I feel like it just was my time to leave. Like, I wasn't supposed to be a part of what's happening right now. You know what I mean? It was my time to definitely do my own thing and make moves elsewhere.
Well, it recently came out that, first of all, Kenya being let go from the show for the rest of that season, that those photos that they allegedly
which I was upset about.
Yeah, you had talked about the fact that you felt like the network doesn't protect their talent, but now we're finding out that the photos weren't even Britney. Britney posted the statement saying that she was not in those photos, and then she dropped a suit against Bravo because of the distress that it put her through, because they allegedly were supposed to have done this investigation. I'm so confused how that happens.
I'm confused too. I don't know. I wasn't there.
But you get what I mean? It's like if you're looking at a photo, you can tell whether it is or isn't a person, right?
Well, I mean, my thing is, I like, everything changed, because I thought at one point they was trying to say she was underage in the photos. So how did they know that if the photo wasn't even her? So who came up with that? Remember they was trying to really come down heavy on Kenya. They was trying to say, that she put these photos out, which was inappropriate. Yeah. And then they was like, and at one point they was trying to say, and she was underage at the time. And I'm like, well, who said she was underage then? If that wasn't her in the photos, I don't know. My thing is, I went there. I'm glad I went there. And my name Bennett. I ain't in it. And we can move right along.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. You've been very vocal about what you feel like should and shouldn't have happened in that situation. So, and also too, you've been on YouTube. You were one of the first housewives that I saw doing your YouTube recap show.
Speak on it.
Yes, speak on it. And now I see like Portia just started doing more on her YouTube channel, and I think Kenya's going to be doing something soon. But maybe for reasons like this, because you got to be able to you talk freely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you are filming the show, they're going to edit it how they want to, and so it's always good to give you know, be able to have a platform to be able to say your side of the story or why the parts that people miss. It gives better context of, you know, certain actions, right? And I just felt like, especially during the time that I was doing, you know, I still do speak on it, but it's not like based on housewives anymore.
Yeah, now it's more like interviews and stuff.
Yeah. But it's like, for me, I feel like the fans like when they can get some behind the scenes info. It helps them really kind of understand what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, behind the scenes, I was told that Portia is going to be returning to the show. We broke that exclusive on the Breakfast Club.
Ooh.
But do you feel like she's owed something for the time that they had her off of the show? Because the fans, when I posted the story, people.
Wait, what?
So
She chose to leave the show.
I'm sorry, Kenya.
Oh, you're talking about Kenya?
Yes.
Got it.
Kenya. We broke the story because Kenya dropped that announcement saying, I'll see you back on Bravo Row soon, that she's not going anywhere anytime soon, and people can look forward to seeing her in this next season. But
and I hope that's true, because I feel like people can say what they want about Kenya. Kenya brings good TV. I think a lot of times, and I'm not talking about anybody specific, I think people care a lot of new reality TV.
Yeah.
It's like they care so much about their brand that they don't give you good TV no more. They're really changing who they are.
Y'all let us into everything.
Yeah, like back when we first started, it was different.
Yeah.
Like we wasn't holding back or trying to give ourselves a fake image for the people. Like we were seeing how we really felt, and we stood on it, right or wrong.
Right.
And I think a lot of people can't handle the pressure of the fans not liking them. And I think Kenya, she's herself, regardless of what people think about her. And I think that's important for reality TV.
100%. And I know you got to go. And in closing, do you agree with the fans that the network owes Kenya something because of the time that she has not been on this episode, if what we're hearing in the investigation is true?
Well, I'm not going to get into what they owe her financially, but I will say they should definitely bring Kenya back. And definitely just let Kenya be Kenya and stop always trying to, like, you know, like, what? Like, to me, I felt like they didn't give her the opportunity to apologize. Like, everybody else got an opportunity to apologize. This is the most apologizing season. Right? The most apologizing. The new reality is everybody's apologizing when they know they don't mean it. But they apologizing just because it looks good to the fans. But with that being said, they did not give her a chance to apologize and make things right, like everybody else got a chance to do.
Yeah, it was reported that she was supposed to sit down with Andy Cohen. It didn't happen, whatever. But we didn't see it. To your point, we didn't see it. It didn't happen. I'm going to leave it at that side eye, okay? We're going to leave it right there. Miss Kandi Burruss, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it, y'all. Make sure you tune in. The BET Awards, I feel like we talked so much about everything else. We didn't talk about the show, but BET Awards are going down Monday, June 9th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited about all of the reunions that will happen there. Speaking of Real Housewives and reunions, they're not going, but y'all know what I'm saying. It's 106 and Park reunion. It's a lot to celebrate. And you are part of music history, so, you know, we celebrating you even if it's not.
Well, thank you.
Period.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us.
See y'all.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.